Hello, this is the Mega Construx Halo Fireteam Castle set. Yep, it's another troop pack, another pack of some figures. These are all based in the kind of school bus orangish yellow color. Fireteam Castle is an actual, or was an actual, canonical Fireteam from the region of time around the events of Halo 4. We kind of worked in the background through some of the Spartan Ops stuff. This is not the complete team, but at least it's the majority of the members of them. But ultimately, though this is based on something that was canonical, really what they're doing here is just giving you the opportunity to buy 4 more figures, and in a color that they don't do all that frequently. The highlight here to me is this Vector Spartan, so something a little bit new. It's not the full armor set. I believe I didn't actually go into the game to check all the pieces, but it has a little bit of a combination of some pieces from multiple previous mold sets that they've put together. But it's always nice to get something new. Unfortunately, none of the figures in this pack have any outline around the visor section, and when you transition from that very light metallic blue to the school bus yellow color, it just doesn't have good contrast most of the time. The set does come with one of these clear stands, and notice they give you some of the little flexible kind of thin cone pieces here in transparent or kind of translucent light blue to represent some thrusters. They are connected to the pinholes on the undersides of these figures, so they're kind of centered right there. Ideally they would be coming off the heels or whatnot, but it's just a little option that you can use on any figure. Taking a closer look at this Vector configuration, it actually looks much better to me up close, as do most of the figures in this set, than from a normal, reasonable distance. Because here you can really appreciate the production quality, which is pretty good. They've got good speckling in that armor with both dark and light speckled pieces in there. The masking around the visor paint applications is not bad. It's fairly crisp in most places. It gets a little bit thin, just one of the applications around this side here, but honestly, it's much better than it looked from a distance. See if I can get you a good little focus on just that arm or the shoulder pad. That's a really good stamp of the official castle logo there. Just a single color, but it looks great. Yeah, and the molds are all good, nice and crisp and everything, as I would expect these days. Looks good. Looks equally good, I'd say, from all angles. Just comes with a regular assault rifle, nothing special there, but yeah, actually not a bad figure. Just would have been better with a little bit of some kind of subtle outline around that visor, in my opinion. Here's the War Master, and I said that most of these in this pack look better up close than they do from a distance. This one is the exception. It is a little bit thin with its paint application for the visor. It's a little bit more obvious up close, I believe, and also somehow upside down is the print on for the Fireteam Castle insignia here. The armor piece is not placed upside down, but it's just printed upside down. You can flip that around. It still kind of attaches, but doesn't snap in all the way. Not that big of a deal. Doesn't really look any different from a distance, right side up or upside down. I mean, it's close enough to vertically symmetrical, but I like the War Master in general. I think this color works okay for the War Master. Just needed the visor to be a little bit more distinct. Here's the Technician with the SMG there. Yeah, this one looks pretty good up close as well. And the print for this one, for the insignia, is pretty clear there. Pretty opaque. Worked out pretty well, especially given just how complex that piece is. It's tough to get a good stamping, but they have a nice soft material that they use for their stamps, and got right in there and applied plenty of that black ink or paint onto there. This is a female body mold under there. They're just continuing that along since since the beginning for this mold set. No point in changing it. If you want to pretend it's a male figure, you certainly can. It's not too over the top in terms of its proportions, so I think it's very reasonably done, but it's a little bit more obvious when you come around the back. It's a well done figure. Yeah, not bad at all. Last up is the Hunter with the all black railgun here. This one doesn't have the most distinct of visor, but I think it works okay. You can see it's just a little bit more thin on this side, but look at the print for the castle logo over here. That's fantastic. That is absolute perfection. You cannot ask for better than that. So that's showing you really the quality of the print and the stamp that they used, and all the other figures just don't have that much definition because they're stamping onto such awkward shapes. I think the choice of all black for all of the weapons is fine for these. I think that it works pretty well, keeps them pretty high in contrast. I'm glad they didn't go with some like dark grays in any of these schemes whatsoever. So they stand out pretty well, even though, as I've mentioned before, I think this base color for the armor plastic that's used here is a little bit toyish looking because it lets some light in. I think that using the black for the full undersuit for the hands and for the weapons helps to contrast against that and brings them a little bit more dignity, I'd say. This small build is obviously just another one of those turret emplacements, and I actually like how these look. I've seen a lot of viewer feedback unhappy with the look of these, but I think they look plenty realistic, and I think the inclusion and integration of the play feature of being able to fire something off is actually really good. You do have to keep in mind that these are toys, and I don't think that what they've done for that integration takes away from the appearance, because they've molded all the stuff on the outside plus the little build bits. They've molded all that to be accurate, and then they just insert in the part that you can either use or not. If you use it, it works. Whoa, that actually ricocheted off. It works well to actually fire off. I mean, it's only one single shot, but you can angle the thing up and down, and you can rotate it around. So leave out the projectile if you want to make it look even a little bit more realistic. Not 100%, but close. I still like it. This thing, though, is, I don't know, it's kind of sad to me. It's the most basic of barriers. It actually has a fair number of pieces used to build it up, but it just looks so plain to me. I like the transparent pieces used on the sides. I appreciate the fact that they went with a little bit of an angle there, so it's not just completely straight up. I mean, I guess that's fine, equally fine. Maybe it even looks better to some folks to have it straight up like that, but angle it back if you want. That's entirely up to you, and this will hold one spare, well, I'll actually hold two projectiles, but there's only one spare. Two projectiles in total included in the set, and yeah, this is very forgettable, I'd say. All told, the whole thing is just fine. It's not a great pack. I don't think it's one that a lot of people will be really looking forward to, especially with the accessories and the side builds being of really not much interest at all. It does give you that vector. I think the color scheme's not the best, but it's not bad. But I think probably folks will be looking forward a little bit more to other color schemes for the armor set there. The bright color gives the package some pretty good display presence, but yeah, we'll see how well it does. Anyway, I've shown you what there is to see here, so hopefully this will help you to make your own decision as to whether you want to get the thing, if you're able to find a place to purchase it if you're interested at all. As I always say, I am not in one of the rare lucky regions that gets a lot of stuff within months of its release, and as we all know, many things don't even get wide releases at all. And yeah, I just check Amazon, Toys R Us, online, retail stores, Target online, and brick and mortar stores. I just check and check and check, and sometimes I find stuff, sometimes I don't. I'll keep trying though, and I'll keep bringing you videos when I'm able to. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.